Hello, I'm Annie Weinberger, Product Marketing Leader for Business Applications at AWS. I'm very excited to be joined by Origin Energy, a leading Australian integrated energy company supplying electricity to 4.2 million customers and producing natural gas, a cleaner form of energy for customers in Australia and beyond. We have two executives from Origin Energy here with us today, Ron van Alsenen, the Chief Transformation and Digital Officer, and Liam McWhirter, Group Manager for Residential Sales, responsible for commodities, solar, and their broadband products. Ron and Liam use Amazon Connect at Origin Energy to deliver great experiences for their contact center agents and, most importantly, their customers. For those of you not familiar with Amazon Connect, it's AWS's easy-to-use omnichannel cloud contact center, and it's built on the same technology that drives Amazon's own customer service centers. There are tens of thousands of contact centers running on Amazon Connect. And we hear from our customers that the reason they choose Connect was that, one, they could set up a contact center very easily that requires no infrastructure to deploy or manage, like the American Preparatory Academy, who's in response to the pandemic, set up a contact center in just 2 hours that supported their agents to work from anywhere with just a laptop and a headset. Also, our customers love that they can scale up to handle millions of calls and chats a day, but then scale down as call volumes change. And they can do this cost effectively, since Amazon Connect charges only for what you use. There's no upfront licenses. For example, Spokio was able to cut contact center costs by 70%. And lastly, because Connect was built with AI/ML embedded, our customers like that they can easily leverage new innovations to gain insights and automate for better customer service. Like TransUnion, who used AI/ML to decrease their transfer rate by 50%, and the time their callers spent in their IVR went from 2 minutes to just 18 seconds. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Rod and Liam from Origin Energy to talk about how they're innovating their contact center with Amazon Connect. Rod?
Thanks, Annie. It was about a year ago that Liam and I were in Vegas at reInvent, learning from other customers how they'd gone about implementing their Connect platform. And it's amazing to think 12 months on, a lot's happened, and here we are talking about our Connect journey. But before I do, I wanted to just take a little bit of time to explain a bit about who Origin Energy is and really set the scene. So Origin is one of Australia's largest energy companies. We're what's called a gentailer, so that means we both generate electricity and also produce a lot of natural gas. And we also retail that energy, that electricity, natural gas to customers. And we also retail a number of other things. We're broadening our service offering into home services, so broadband, solar, and other services are part of what we offer today. Our purpose is getting energy right for our customers, community, and planet, and that recognises not only the fundamental role that energy plays in the day-to-day lives of our customers, but actually the really fundamental role that energy also plays in terms of moving towards a clean, sustainable, low-carbon future. So it's a purpose we're very passionate about, but really bringing it to life and delivering it requires that we do a number of things really well. The first is getting the right energy. And the right energy for us really means renewable energy sources, so solar, wind, hydro, those renewable sources being firmed up not so much by coal anymore, but transitioning to gas, and then increasingly introducing next generation energy sources like hydrogen to really power the future. So it's a future we're really excited about. And I have a short video here which I'll share, which will really connect the dots across how we are getting energy, technology, and customer propositions working together to create a better future for our customers.
A bright future, connecting customers to the energy and technologies of the future. Our world is changing. Technology and innovation are reshaping the way we live. And with it, the whole energy ecosystem is transforming alongside us. A bright and bold new energy world is emerging, shaped by decarbonisation, decentralisation, and digitisation. Decarbonisation, moving from fossil fuels to more renewable energy that's better for the planet. Decentralisation, more ways for people to produce their own energy and rely less on the traditional electricity grid. Digitisation, more connected devices, driving efficiencies across the entire energy supply chain. Our future will be more flexible, interconnected, data-driven and cleaner. These changes and these opportunities are our starting point for a brighter energy future. Every day, we're relentlessly looking for new ways to innovate for a better tomorrow by partnering with startups, testing new possibilities, finding solutions. We want to get energy right for our customers, communities and planet, and we're already well on the way. We can see a good energy future more clearly than ever. And it looks a little like this. When it's time for people like Kirsten and Jason to move, we're there to make it happen as their simple, one-stop energy partner. With keys in the door, we've got the basics covered and a whole lot more. And when it's time to power up, the Smart Energy Monitor transfers existing data to their new home. A few quick questions later, we understand our customer and their energy needs. As the Stevens ecosystem partner, we've made life easier, helping them connect to new services. While they spend the first night in their new place, behind the scenes, Origin keeps working. In fact, our Intelligent Connect platform is always working and learning. At the height of summer, with high temperatures on the way, we make the most of the winds bringing in the warm front to prime the hydro, preparing a surplus of cleaner, smarter, cheaper electricity. While some people in Newcastle head to the beach, storing energy at lower prices, over in Wodonga, the Madden family are preparing for a big family get-together. With a lot of appliances running and plenty of cooks in the kitchen, they want to make the most of their available power. And we give them smart ways to stay connected and in control of their home. Charlotte asked the smart speaker to show current usage, switching the priority from the EV battery to smart climate devices. Using supply from the local solar grid, the battery adjusts its source, pulling energy from neighbours as it becomes available at a better rate. Everyone keeps cool as the day warms up and the party kicks off.
So as you'll have seen from the video, there's a lot going on in energy and it's a rapidly changing landscape. What the video didn't share is within Australia, there's also been some really significant regulatory and competitive changes that have been taking place in the energy market. And we've had to respond to those and actually get on the front foot. And to do that, we set up a program called Retail 2020, which was a transformation program at Origin to do really three things. Firstly, to create a leading customer experience. Secondly, to become the lowest cost operator. And the third was to grow new sources of revenue beyond energy, recognising that actually our traditional role as an energy generator where we would centrally provide power to customers is rapidly being overtaken by customers producing their own energy through solar and rooftops and the like. So we have to broaden our business. And that Retail 2020 program sought to help achieve that. In terms of what we wanted to do as part of Retail 2020, the transformation of our telephone contact centre and our telephony experience for both agents and staff was a really critical part of the Retail 2020 transformation. We had a legacy contact centre platform that had been in place for a number of years, supporting our 1,600 agents, both onshore and offshore. It was a really complex environment. So complex because we had thousands, well over 1,000 different queues in agent skills. We had about 180 contact phone numbers in the market that customers would call us through. And the result of all of that was a really high cost operating model, lots of call transfers, and a high cost of change, and also a degraded customer experience. And the customer experience we weren't satisfied was meeting the mark of where we wanted to be. So it was with that we put in place a project called, as part of the broader transformation, called Smart IVR. And Smart IVR was the implementation of Amazon Connect to basically transform our contact centre and our telephony experience. And there were a number of really important things we were seeking to achieve through that program. The first was replacing the legacy end-of-life platform that we had in place supporting the contact centre. And importantly, doing that in a way that had zero business and operational disruption. So our customers, we did not want to jeopardise our customers not being able to contact us. And that obviously became extraordinarily important during the COVID period as well. The second thing was taking that opportunity not just to re-platform the end-of-life system that we had in place, but actually put in place a digitized, automated, high-quality customer experience through our telephony channels. And that was a second really important and fundamental reason we moved on to Amazon Connect. And the third reason was we wanted to increase our ability to drive change at pace and at far lower cost, leveraging our internal teams. And we felt that AWS Connect was a really strong platform for us to be able to bring our digital capabilities to the fore and apply them in a telephony context. So I'll now pass over to Liam, who'll share a little bit more about how we approach the journey of transforming through Retail 2020 with our Smart IVR project on Amazon Connect.
Thanks very much, Rod. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give you a bit more detail around our transition to the Smart IVR Connect platform. I'll give you an overview of the journey that we've taken as part of the transformation effort. So firstly, our transition was really driven by two key factors. One was speed to value and how we unlock value early for customers, agents and the business, given the commitments around Retail 2020 that Rod touched on. Secondly, we also had our end-of-life milestone for our legacy technology within the contact centre, and that was quickly approaching in June 2020. So we firstly started our journey by working closely with the AWS team to establish a lean proof of concept, which really validated the technology and helped create buy-in across the organisation that was critical to our investment. After only 8 weeks following the proof of concept, we commenced our first release, and we consciously broke our transition down into 3 key releases, given the criticality of the IVR to our business operation. So we essentially took a lean and iterative approach to it. Our first release enabled us to launch a new self-service flow to customers through the renewal journey or product change for our energy plan. And it also gave us the opportunity to test the AWS softphone and CCP with a small group of agents and capture their feedback. After only 2 months following that first release, we were busily preparing for our second release to 80% of the users across our contact centre, which was in March of 2020. However, like a lot of things in 2020, COVID-19 quickly changed our plans. And we were forced to accelerate our cutover, which what was originally a 2-week transition, essentially to 48 hours in order to support our business operations. So incredibly, we're able to migrate 1,600 agents across 3 countries to the new AWS Connect platform in the space of 48 hours with no interruption to business operations or customer service levels, which was a fantastic effort. Our third release was then extending our new self-service capability to customers, and that was something that was a big request following the proof of concept. So we're able to launch a whole new range of features that customers were able to access. That also enabled us to decommission our legacy technology platform, which was a major milestone and avoided a lot of regret costs into FY21 as well. We've now firmly moved into the run and operate phase, and based on the flexibility and agility through AWS Connect, we're able to continuously iterate the platform and release new experiences to customers based on the feedback they have. The business case associated with our Smart IVR investment was really predicated on 3 key factors. The first was substantially improving customer experience to be able to more effectively compete in the market and support our customers. Secondly was in terms of enhancing the agent experience for the 1,600 contact centre agents that we have. And thirdly was around introducing a future experience and capability that we can leverage. And that was critical for us to then transition into a cloud-based platform. And given the competitive dynamics that Rod touched on and the evolving customer expectations, it's important for us to be in the cloud such that we can respond efficiently to those evolving expectations. At a customer level, some of the key benefits have been the new authentication capability that we've introduced, and that's now cross-channel, which means that customers can traverse either the digital app, our IVR or our My Account, and their authentication experience will sort of follow them to make that more seamless. We've also enabled a lot more customer information to be passed through to agents so that they can more effectively service customer queries. At an agent level, clearly one of the big transformation initiatives has been the ability for agents to work from home, and that was particularly critical given COVID-19, as I touched on earlier. We've also released a new custom designed soft phone, which I'll come back to and share a bit more detail on. And we've got a lot more enhanced analytical capability and reporting around key performance metrics across our contact centre. Throughout the proof of concept, we validated that customers have an increasing appetite for self-service through the IVR and have a desire to be able to complete simple transactions on themselves, by themselves without any manual intervention. And effectively, one of our key self-service cases that we released was our product renewal or sort of product change, which is where customers change their energy plan. And based on AWS's Connect open API infrastructure, we were able to seamlessly integrate into our SAP CRM and efficiently build a self-service experience within the case of 3 weeks, such that customers could renew their plan with very little effort. And it was fully integrated into our CRM and fulfilled without any manual, human intervention. In terms of the experience itself, so customers would authenticate in the IVR, and they were presented with a fast option to renew through touch tone, and they were then provided that immediate confirmation of their product renewal. And the results have been, truly fantastic for this particular call. It is one of our most common call types with over 1,000 unique calls per day. And we have achieved an automation rate of 25%, which exceeded our target. We've also had an overwhelming number of users complete the transaction on their first attempt, which is really critical from a customer experience point of view. And we've actually seen that flow through in the CX results that we've had, with NPS results at +30, which has been double our voice baseline, which has been fantastic. As I mentioned, with 1,600 agents, one of our key priorities of our Smart IVR was improving the experience for them and how they go about servicing their customers. As a result, we established a dedicated design and development team that were focused on ODash, which was Origin's version of the soft phone, which was essentially embedded within Connect. And in effect, it replaced the CCP, soft phone experience. So we were able to tailor this exactly to our environment and to suit the needs of our agents and customers. And there were really 4 key benefits that came through our ODash solution. The first is the authentication journey that I touched on earlier. So by customers having completed their ID and verification within the IVR, we were then able to pass that information through to the ODash tool such that agents were able to take that on and more efficiently move into resolution of the customer query. And that would either be in the form of full authentication or part authentication, and therefore agents would give a tailored experience, based on the amount of detail that a customer had input. So it effectively removed a lot of repeat effort from customers and gave them confidence that they were progressing through their journey more quickly and getting to a resolution sooner. The second was, in an organisation as complex and as large as ours, with multiple departments, occasionally we can have call transfers, and we always try to limit those. But in the event of a transfer, we were conscious to be able to provide that information through to our agents so that they were able to understand the prior journey that a customer took, and that helped build context and empathy for how they were able to service that query. Equally, where a customer had completed a self-service flow or had attempted a self-service flow, we would also pass that information across in ODash, which again helped build that empathy and context. Thirdly, we also established quick connects for rapid transfers. And this was based on the most common transfer type that our agents would have. And we built a tailored prioritised drop-down that agents could quickly use in order to move a call to the right specialist department when it was required. And finally, using our digital analytics sort of capability that we've established within our digital organisation, we were able to provide a next best action prompt for agents, which was a tailored cross-sell experience based on the range of products that we sell to customers. And that enabled us to provide a more efficient, cross-sell opportunity while still growing revenue and margin for the organisation. The customer and agent experience and response around this has been fantastic, and we had an NPS of plus 15 and a lot of positive anecdotal feedback around, how much preferable the soft phone was in comparison to the prior hard phone. In terms of those future capabilities that I spoke about, one that we've been able to leverage through AWS Connect has been Contact Lens, which is the AI-powered analytics and insights tool. And based on the functionality around search and sentiment analysis, this has truly transformed our business and enabled us to reveal a lot of things that we probably weren't across in as much detail as what we are now. Effectively, with this tool, we're able to identify any customer experience themes or feedback that's occurring at scale across our operation, and essentially aggregate that information and be able to analyse that. It also gives us the opportunity to identify where a competitor may have taken action in market with a new product or a new service, and be able to respond efficiently to that in order to manage our market share as well. We've substantially increased the volume of calls that we now have oversight to. So previously we had manual QA effort that was sort of monitoring a small portion of our calls, and that's now increased to over 100%, where we've got insight around, and that's hugely powerful. Also, the transcription of voice and with sentiment markers means that it's more efficient now for our team leaders to be able to coach our agents where their opportunities for improvement may be. We're also really excited about the recent real-time supervisor assist release within Contact Lens, and that gives us a great opportunity to be able to identify where an agent may be struggling during a day, and be able to intervene and provide support for that agent to improve the experience that they're providing to our customers. So it has endless potential. We also see it being a huge driver for how we can improve the volume of cross-sell opportunities that we get. Secondly, we also think it's going to be hugely valuable in reducing our ombudsman complaints, because it will enable us to intervene earlier where there's a high-risk customer experience outcome. And thirdly, it will also have the ability to reduce our call transfer volume, which will further improve customer experience as well. So we now sit 9 months post sort of the COVID-19 and the accelerated cutover that I described, where we had to transition 1,600 agents in 48 hours. And we couldn't be more pleased with how the platform's performing and the results that we're seeing. Not only was it hugely critical, from a business continuity planning perspective following COVID-19, but we've definitely realised a lot of the value that we're hoping to see, spanning customer experience, agent experience, and also that foundational capability that we can leverage into the future. Just to call out a few highlights on some of the benefits for you. Firstly, we've increased the automation of our calls through those range of self-service experiences that I described earlier, from 2% to 12%. And with the release of the AU Poly Voice in the Australian market here, we're continuing to see that improve, and customers responding positively to that. We've had very positive NPS through our automation flows that are on par or outperforming traditional voice experiences, which is fantastic. We've also established that internal DevOps capability that enable us to continually evolve and release new experiences into the market. That authentication journey has been significant for us, and we've moved from 0 customers authenticating in the IVR to now 50% fully authenticating, and that's enabling more efficient conversations and early resolution of queries. We've had huge efficiency gains in average handle time and productivity. And importantly, we've reduced our run and operate costs by 1.5 million annually, which has been really important, and that's been driven largely by the consumption-based commercials through AWS Connect. And for us, with a large investment in our digital capability, we're continuing to see digital shift, and therefore getting a benefit from that, and in terms of having migrated onto the platform. And clearly, the work from home capability has been really important. We did see a huge uplift in our employee engagement scores this year, and one of the key drivers behind that was the increased flexibility that people were asking for. Just finally, for those that are contemplating a similar transformation journey, it certainly didn't come without its challenges. And Rod and I just wanted to summarise some of the key lessons learned and success factors for you. Firstly, the lean proof of concept was hugely valuable in proving the feasibility of the technology, but also to establish buy-in across the organisation as well. Secondly, we really leveraged a lot of in-house design and delivery expertise, which was augmented with some AWS ProServe resources, and that was hugely critical because it enabled us to deliver at speed, with high quality, and also enabled strong IP retention that we're now benefiting from in the run and operate phase. Thirdly, given the criticality of the platform to our business operation, taking that lean iterative approach with the 3 major releases was really important to helping reduce business risk and also support change management, and gave us the confidence to undertake that accelerated cutover to the new platform through COVID-19. And finally, we had huge value from establishing diverse cross-functional teams coming together to solve some of these key challenges that spanned technology, customer experience, operations, and business SMEs as well. So that's it from me, and I hope you found this useful, and I'll hand you back to Annie now to close out.
Thanks, Rod and Liam. That was a great example of innovating in the contact center. If you're ready to get started with Amazon Connect, we have some resources for you. There's a large and global team of consulting partners who can help you set up and customize Amazon Connect, like Accenture, Voice Foundry, and Simbi. Also, make sure to watch the reInvent section with Accenture to learn how they're helping build responsive customer service for companies like Truist and the Employment and Social Development in Canada. In addition, AWS Professional Services has a team of experts ready to deliver predefined customer outcomes with our proven methodologies that can really take your contact center to the next level. If you haven't tried Amazon Connect yet, you can sign up for free today. Log into the AWS console, answer a few short questions, claim a phone number, and you can be taking calls in minutes. And in case you missed it, Andy Jouncey announced 5 exciting new Amazon Connect features in his reInvent keynote. If you're interested, go check out the recorded sessions or visit our contact center blog channel. Finally, we have a number of great resources to help you create even better agent customer experiences. You can check out all our other demos, customer presentations, and our new training modules on aws.amazon.com/connect. So thanks again to Rod and Liam, and thank you for attending reInvent. If you could complete the survey, we'd love to hear your feedback. So have a great day, enjoy the rest of the conference, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you live next year in Vegas. Thank you.